kind of hard to believe, but it's the end of January, which means that 2025 is almost 1/12 over. It's also hard to believe that already in January, my calendar for 2025 is chock full of events and rides, and I wanted to make this video to not only invite you to most of these events, it'd be great to see and ride with some of you and camp with some of you at some of these events, but also just to let you know about everything I'll be doing and what kinds of content you can expect in the coming year. Also, I just want to say thank you to Flying Eyes for sponsoring this video and also sponsoring the biggest, longest, and coolest ADV trip I've ever been on coming this June. There's a lot to get to, so let's just hit the ground running. First up, February 5th through 7th in Las Vegas, I will be at the AIM Expo, the American International Motorcycle Expo. I don't think this one's open to the public. I think it's industry people only, but I know a lot of you are industry people and or influencers or media people yourselves, so if you're gonna be there and you see me, make sure you say hi. It's gonna be cool to network and obviously hang out in Vegas and see some of the new bikes and stuff coming out this year, and that's just coming up just next month. It's also gonna be cool to get out of this, it's literally 25 degrees right now weather, and be in the desert for a little bit in February. After that, the next event I'll be attending is March 19th through 23rd, and that is the Death Valley Noobs Rally in, shockingly, Death Valley. This is an event that's open to the public. It's put on by Joel on the ADV Rider forums. I'm not gonna say any more than that just because I don't want him to get overwhelmed. So if you wanna find out more about this event in the spring in Death Valley, pop over to the ADV Rider forums and you'll find it. Space is limited, but this is a formal camp out with informal riding in Death Valley in March. And a great opportunity if you're somewhere where you can't ride in the early spring and late winter to get out and ride in some 70-degree temperatures. So looking forward to that. I had a great time last year. There's a video on the channel if you want to check it out. There's actually 2. Then after that, coming up in May, so the last 2 weeks of May, May 18th through 24th and May 25th through 31st, the return of XT-ADV training in British Columbia. This year it is at the beginning of the year. The idea being you get in some spring training that you can then utilize for the entire season. So you'll elevate your riding early on and have a great time all year as a result. There's 2 weeks that are Dork weeks. I will be there Wednesday to Wednesday of those weeks because I can't do 2 full weeks in a row. Can't be away from home that long. So if you want to come up and be there in the weeks that I'm gonna be there, make sure that you let Dallas know. And if you're like, hell no, I would go, but I don't want to hang out with some stupid dork, there will also be some dork-less weeks. Just let Dallas know that. It won't hurt my feelings because he won't tell me. Admittedly, this is not a cheap experience. It is a week of training, riding, bike rental, accommodations, and food. But it's some of the best insurance you can buy to elevate your riding and prevent costly injuries and bike repairs in the future. It's an investment in yourself and your riding ability for not only this season, but the rest of your riding career. And not only that, it's just a hell of a lot of fun. There's a ton of videos from last year on the channel you can check out. It's like a week of camping and riding with buddies, except the food is amazing, which it doesn't tend to be when I camp with my buddies, and you come out the other side a much better rider. In early June, I'm excited to head to the Olympic Peninsula. I've been wanting to ride the Olympic Peninsula since I saw an article about it on RevZilla like, I don't know, 5 years ago when I first got into dual sport riding. So going with the Cyclops guys, that is their home turf, and excited for them to show me around for a few days on the Olympic Peninsula. And then probably the biggest trip I've ever been on, ever, the most amazing, ridiculous thing, I can't even believe I'm saying it out loud, but June 26th through 29th, I will be in England at the Adventure Bike Rider Festival. I am beyond honored and honestly shocked to have been invited to come and present at Ragley Hall in England, just outside of Stratford-upon-Avon, where Shakespeare was born. So don't think I'm not gonna geek out on that the whole time, English major that I am. I have never been to Europe, and I'm so excited to meet my European friends. And it is just crazy to me. It blows my mind. This silly little YouTube channel that I started in 2017 on a whim with a $130 GoPro I bought refurbished is the reason now I get to go across the Atlantic for the first time. So I'm really looking forward to meeting all my European friends. And the reason why I'm able to do that is because of our friends at Flying Eyes. Bam. Man, these look good. They look good. Flying Eyes has generously offered to sponsor my trip and cover my travel expenses, and I'm beyond grateful to them because without their support, I could not have taken advantage of this opportunity. It's also appropriate because Flying Eyes were originally designed for pilots, hence the name Flying Eyes, to wear comfortably under their headsets. That's the idea behind the ultra-thin and ultra-flexible arms on these glasses. They make both sunglasses and prescription glasses. My prescription Luzons were the best glasses I had in 35 years of wearing them, and with the quick on and off magnetic sunglasses attachments, it was actually faster to switch between glasses and sunglasses than it is to put on a pair of regular sunglasses now that I've had LASIK surgery. Another great underrated application for their flexible frames, and one I don't think they advertise enough, is that if you spend a lot of time wearing a gaming headset like I do, then you know how the headset can press in on your glasses and the frame arms, and it just gets really uncomfortable. But the ultra thin and flexible Flying Eyes frames are nearly imperceptible under a headset, and they completely eliminate this frustration. So they're great for wearing under your helmet, they're great on and off under your helmet, they're very flexible, indestructible, and if you wear prescription glasses and you wear a headset of any kind or a helmet, they fit in and out really well, and they're very comfortable. No pressure points right here on the side of your head. Flying Eyes are assembled in the US, and they're actively working to move as much manufacturing as possible to their home base of Austin, creating jobs and supporting the local economy. So pop over to the link in the description to check out all the cool shades they offer, and make sure that you use promo code DORK in the road to save 10% off your purchase. Big thanks once again to Flying Eyes for making it possible for me to take my dream trip to England and meet all of my European friends. After that, like a week after I get back, July 6th through 12th is Griz Bait. You may remember 2 years ago my first introduction to the unique brand of suffering put on by our friends at Traction ERAG in Canada was Griz Bait 2023. I think my unholy influence is rubbing off on Dallas a little bit, because he's certainly planning a lot more dual sport and adventure events these days. That, or he's just realizing he's getting older and it's just easier on the joints and stuff to not be crashing on rocks all the time. But the tagline for the new Griz Bait Dual Sport Edition is, "All the scenery, half the misery." Supposedly, according to them, it is a 2 on the difficulty scale, so significantly easier than my first Griz Bait experience, with optional alternate routes for more experienced riders craving more of a challenge. We'll be going out on their fleet of CRF 300Ls and 450Ls and exploring northern BC. This is another week-long bucket list adventure with the charming reprobates of the ERAG crew, with catering and accommodations included. So the XT ADV event is for training with some riding thrown in to reinforce your skills and get out and apply them in the real world. Griz is for riding and suffering. Half the misery is still a significant percentage of misery. All joking aside, I think it's going to be a blast, and probably fine if you're an intermediate rider or even a skilled, confident beginner. If you want to ride Griz Bait with me, let Dallas know when you sign up and he'll do the rest. He's 68% reliable. And then July 25th through August 1st, I'm going to check another item off my bucket list this year, the Colorado BDR with our friends at Colorado Motorcycle Adventures. The Colorado BDR is a bucket list trip for me, probably the pinnacle of BDRs in my opinion, or at least scenery-wise, the ones I've wanted to see the most. Colorado's at the top of the list. This is a trip you can attend, and in fact I would encourage you to do so, because the whole point is I'm hosting this specific one so I can ride with a bunch of Dorksiders and we can all do Colorado together. This is a guided, supported trip with luggage transportation, so you can just concentrate on riding the ridiculously amazing passes on the Colorado BDR. We're riding north to south, so it starts easier and gets harder, and Colorado Motorcycle Adventures is the company that put on that two-step desert rodeo event I went to in last year. Dylan, the owner, was the one leading our little journey down the Cocopelli Trail. They put on a great event and we'll be well taken care of. But this is not for noobs. So if you're a brand new rider, this one I do not recommend. On their website, they list it as a 4 out of 5 difficulty, which has honestly got me puckering up a little bit, but I think I'll survive. It's just a lot of exposure with a lot of loose rock on a very high 11,000 foot mountain pass. But if you've ever wanted to ride the Colorado BDR without worrying about logistics or carrying gear, this is the best way to do it. It's not cheap, but it's a guided trip with hotel stays, and all of that costs money. This is a different experience than just throwing all your crap on your bike and going, but for some, this will be the best and maybe only option. And if it sounds good to you, if it's something you're up for, if this is something that's on your bucket list as well, and it seems worth the expense to you, well, there's a link in the description. I hope that 8 to 10 of you can make it happen, and I would love to ride Colorado with you, because that is an experience we're never going to forget. In August, I'm going to ride the Idaho BDR. So yes, 2 BDRs this summer. The Colorado trip is guided and supported. The August trip will be a more traditional moto camping off the bikes with Explore Adventure Moto. Yes, his triumphant return to BDRs. Long awaited triumphant return, so really looking forward to that in August. I don't have the exact dates for you, but the Dork in the Road campout will be in early September this year. This one is still up in the air until I can reserve campsites, which you can't do until 6 months out. But the tentative plan is early September September in Central Oregon. I will be in Colorado the first week of August, which is when we normally do it, so that's why it's a little later this year. This is a channel member and patron campout with limited spaces. It's a weekend of riding and moto camping. The idea is a chill event with a limited agenda, just one group ride on the Oregon BDR on Saturday, but otherwise we're just hanging out with like-minded folks in the forest and maybe having dinner at the brewery one night. It is limited to channel members and patrons because, one, there's just a lot of you subscribers, and if I don't narrow it down somehow, it'll be completely overwhelming. And two, this ensures that randos just looking for free camping and not interested in the actual event do not sign up. I want those who attend to want to be there. This has worked out great the last 2 years and has made this one of my favorite events of the year. Signups will most likely happen in March, and if you want to see what the Dork on the Road campout looks like, there's a video of last year and the year before on the channel. In late September, yet another ERAG event. I spend a lot of time with these surly bastards in Canada, don't I? There must be a reason. It's either really fun or I have Stockholm syndrome. Probably Stockholm. Yeah, anyway, I'm not super clear on this one beyond the fact that it'll be a multi-day dual sport adventure ride with some camping in the Canadian Rockies. Reach out to Dallas if you're interested and let them know that Dork sent you. The website has not gone live for this one yet, but keep checking on the Traction ERAG website for updates. But unlike Griz Bay, which will be a base camping day ride sort of adventure, this will be a multi-day trip camping in a different place every night. Rocky Ticklers, because you'll be riding at the base of the Canadian Rockies, and also because Dallas never met an innuendo that he wouldn't put into the title of something. And then in October, I know, we're talking about October, it's January and we're talking about October. October 1st through 5th is a 3-step desert rodeo in Moab. Moab has always been a dream riding destination for me, and last year I was finally able to make it happen thanks to our friends at Colorado Motorcycle Adventures and their amazing event, the 3-step desert rodeo. I got to ride in the Valley of the Gods. I got to ride the Kokopelli Trail, which I survived, yay. I enjoyed it so much that this year, 2025, I am co-presenting the event with them. This is a Dork on the Road / Colorado Motorcycle Adventures event. It is a small, intimate event, small enough that I hesitate to call it a rally. It's more like a camp out with a super cool ranch outside of Moab. The food is really great. There's about 50 people, which is a perfect size because you don't get lost in the crowd. You kind of end up talking to everybody before it's over. They have cabin accommodations, teepees, moto camping, and you can drive in and camp in your rig. And you'll have the opportunity to ride iconic Moab trails like White Rim, Hell's Revenge, and Chicken Corners, or just explore beautiful places like Monument Valley and Arches National Park. They rent bikes so you can fly and ride, or you can bring your own, and there is a full video of last year. In fact, there's 2 videos of last year's event on the channel if you want to check it out. I hope you'll sign up for that one. Like I said, we're co-presenting it, so that is a Dork on the Road / CMA event. Should be a lot of Dorksiders there. Should be a good time. Sadly, with this full slate of events, means I am going to miss some of my regular events. So I will not be at Giant Loop this year, and I will not be at Touratech this year. Touratech and the ABR Festival in England are the exact same weekend, and while I'd love to learn to be in 2 places at once, sadly it's still physically impossible, so I will miss Touratech for the first time in 5 years, and I won't be at Giant Loop because it is the same week as one of my XT ADV weeks. I thought Giant Loop was a week later this year. It isn't, so I'm gonna miss it because, again, I can't be in 2 places at once. But the idea for this year was to try to do more trips and fewer rallies, and I guess I've accomplished that. My other big goal was to maximize the opportunities to ride with subscribers and create opportunities for you all to get out and do some awesome riding. We've got several opportunities here with costs ranging from free, or I guess $10 a year to become a patron, for the Dork on the Road campout to a few grand for the Cobder and ERAG events in Canada. I hope to see you at one or more of these, and there will be links to everything in the description. Some of those are technically affiliate links because the Canada and Moab events pay me a small commission if you sign up. Thank you to Flying Eyes for sponsoring this video and for sponsoring my trip to England. I am so stoked and unbelievably grateful to them for that. Check out the link to my specific Flying Eyes page with all the styles that I recommend. And did you know they have different size lenses for different heads? So if you've got a massive melon like me, you can get bigger aviators to fit your head. And if you have a small little melon like Ian, you can get a smaller pair, and they look cool either way. Isn't that nice? Check out that link in the description and use promo code Dork on the Road to save 10% off Flying Eyes sunglasses and prescription glasses. And finally, I just want to say thank you to all of you, because it is your fault I'm able to live this ridiculous, unbelievable, amazing life. I get to go to England and ride 2 BDRs this year. What? That is a literal dream come true, and not something I could have imagined when I started this channel years ago. And I have all of you to thank. So thank you to all of you who subscribe, who hit the like button, who watch the videos, who click those affiliate links and keep this channel alive and keep enough money rolling in for me to pay my bills and take these trips and keep creating content for you. I'm unbelievably grateful, and I try to remember every single day that it's all because of you. So thank you all for helping me create this life, which is a literal dream come true. I wish you nothing but safety, amazing rides, and prosperity in 2025. Here's looking forward to a great year. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you, and please do not forget to be excellent to each other. Thank you.
Excellent!